Follow white rabbit. I'm taking potions, call me Alice.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're watching this. Back in again today. I am be doing today a machine review. You guys seem to like my machine reviews, and I don't understand why, because these are honest, no sugarcoating it. No, I've been given machines by manufacturers to give it amazing reviews. We're talking about Deus 2, as you probably see by the thumbnail. This little machine here, I haven't been given this machine by any company. I pay for this out of my own money. So you're going to see a complete, honest review about this machine here, which is the Deus 2. I have used lots and lots of other machines, and like all my reviews, I like to use a machine for a prolonged period of time to find out its good points, all its bad points, anything that I think people should know about before purchasing a machine, anything I think in my head may be wrong with the machine. And this is all my own personal opinions of using a machine for a prolonged period of time on many different environments, such as woodlands, grassy pastures, stony beaches, sandy beaches, lovely cropped fields, ploughed fields, rolled fields. I have put this machine to test on all, so I can honestly tell you how it performed with all honesty. Right, without further ado, shall we get into it? We'll start with build quality. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start from the top and work our way down. First things first is the headphones. The headphones that come with them. Well, you can actually choose which headphones you want with the machine. I went for these. These are WSA 2XL, which is the big chunky ones that go over the ear, because, well, I like the comfort of actually feeling some headphones on my head. You do have the WS6 and the WSA, which are the smaller neck phones with the band that goes behind the neck. But I don't think I'll be comfortable with that. Hence, I've got these big chunky headphones, which is something I'm used to by other machines as well. I have had an issue with these where, again, the little cuff bit comes off. But again, you can see the little clips here. They literally just clip back in like that. You don't have to worry about trying to thumb it in with a like a plastic card like I had to with other machines. Build quality on these, not the best build quality, I'm going to say that. They are very lightweight plastic, but they do come with a shower proof. That's the charging cable there, and they've got a little rubber O-ring along there for the shower proofness, which I have taken these out in some really heavy rain, and I felt confident these weren't going to break. So that's the headphones review. Right, let's work our way down, and what are we on to next? Right, arm cuff and stem all in one. Shall we go for it? Arm cuff here is a hard, solid plastic. I've got no problems with me even breaking that. That's absolutely solid as you like, down to the lower stem, aluminium. You can see because I scuffed it, the aluminium coming through here, along to the grip here. Basically, the stem is like the Deus 1, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Unlike other machines where it was completely broke, so you had to fix it. The older XP, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It works well and keep with the same design. I have seen issues online about this breaking, but I think that is personally down to people forcing this on. The control box, it does sit nicely on there. It can be a little bit fiddly at times, because the control box is completely detachable. You can put it in your pocket. But yeah, other than that, the stem itself, it does. I'm 6'2", 6'3" on a good day, and I'm considering how small this machine is, it does actually go to my size with these lovely little cam locks, and just absolutely no problems if it's sticking or anything. It perfectly, it's been gritted mud, absolutely not a single problem other than the screw that went missing on day one. I've had no issues with that screw being out either. So I'm not sure if the machine was trying to do some self-lightening techniques on the go, but from day one, the first time I took it out, that screw fell out. I've lost it. I've only had a metal detector to find it, eh? Right. Next thing let's talk about is control box. This little thing here is no bigger than a mobile phone, to be fair. And this thing does a lot. This thing is so powerful, it does a lot. As for waterproofness, it is waterproof. It's rugged, drop proof. I mean, I have abused this machine a bit with mud. I've had mud all over the screen, all over the button. It's still mud in the speakers there. But you can actually wash these in the shower. They are fully waterproof. And I don't even notice, no cables connecting. That's the good thing about a Deus 2, is through the coil, through to the headphones here, all wireless, completely wireless, which is an innovation in detecting in my eyes. I'll get onto user interface in a minute, but let's just carry on talking about the build quality. As for this control box, it's bomb proof, I'm going to say, in my eyes. Let's talk about the coil. I am only running the small coil. I can only review the only coil I have used, which is the little 9-inch, 22cm FMF frequency, fast multi-frequency coil. No problems at all. This here is where you charge it, and it's a clip configuration, but I'll go to the charging cable in a second. But as for build quality, you can see how scuffed it is. Been pushing it through some rough stuff, but I haven't had a problem with this coil. It's slightly heavier than other coils on other machines because it's wireless, but it's very, very extremely well balanced machine throughout. You don't even notice the extra weight in the coil because of the rest of the machine is stupidly light. You just, until you pick one in your hands, you won't actually understand how light these machines are. But yeah, absolutely no problems here with the coil. This is a quick additional on build quality. Let's talk about the charging cable here. It's just a normal USB charging cable into like a crowfoot 3-way configuration there. So you only need one cable to charge up your whole machine. With the Deus 2, unlike other machines, you need to charge up 3 different aspects: the coil, the control box, and the headphones. And all 3 different connectors, they are all different, hang on the bottom of this crowfoot. This one here, the clip, is for the coil. This, I don't know. I like the design of it. I think it could have been done a little bit better, maybe magnetic. Literally switch on and off like other machines have done. This is maybe a little bit dated. Also, again, with the control box charging, the pin thing, this here is a little bit dated. Maybe they could have done magnets on that one too. Little magnets, so you literally go bloom bloom and chuck them all on. It can be a bit fiddly, these two. And then you've got the headphone connection, which is the old type USB, which, to be honest, I think is probably the best one. I've never had any problems. The smaller ones, they tend to sort of wear out. But yeah, that's the issues I have with the cables. Other than that, I've had no charging issues. It does charge, and the battery life is actually quite good, considering I push out, usually average hunt is about 6 hours, and I have pushed it out for 2 hunts on one charge with the lot. The coil does drain quicker than the control box and the headphones. That's just one note, because the coil is doing all the work processing the signals into the ground. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about user interface. The user interface with the Deus 2 and control box, speaker on the back, backlight at the front if you need it. The user interface, these buttons are, if you look at one from an outsider's point of view, who's never picked one up and played with the settings, it can be a bit daunting, and I understand that. It was a little bit for me, but it didn't take me long at all to navigate all the menus. It didn't take me long at all to navigate all the menus. It's surprisingly easy. Don't let that put you off the navigation and all the menus, because it doesn't have to be as difficult as it may look. On that note, I've never known a machine so customizable than the Deus 2. It is completely customizable for the user. End user, you can use it. You can program this machine literally to exactly how you detect. Buttons are really easy to press. I've had no problems with the buttons. They're very, even with wet muddy fingers, you can see the mud ingress there. Absolutely no problems with user interface. It has many modes, and I mean general, sensitive, full tone, far. I think it's got I think 14 normal preset modes, so you don't have to do anything about it. And then you can go to your custom ones. So there's your custom ones there. And you can pick your own custom ones and name them as you like. So if you get a certain field where you know a certain settings work, bam, straight with a custom, as you know it's going to work with. Yes, again, I might point out the user interface can be a bit daunting and a bit too overwhelming, but it's not as complicated as it first seems. It's actually fairly easy as soon as you get your head around it. But other than that, because it's fully customizable, I love that aspect of it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about all the good points with this Deus 2. There is quite a few good points with this machine as well. First things first, size of it, it's teeny weeny. It's also extremely light. Absolutely amazing. Second good point, other than size and weight, is it's the most fully customizable machine I have ever used. Down to the tiniest thing, you can fully customize it to however you like to detect, to make the machine more enjoyable for the end user. I can't fault that. It's the most customizable machine I've ever used. It's really good in the woodland. Woodland, outstanding. A, because it's got no coils that get caught up on brambles and bushes. B, because it's so light. And C, you can get under like bushes and stuff without having that coil sort of cables restricting you, that poking up. Completely cableless. I found roaming in woodlands, which I didn't even think roaming were in. It's such an enjoyable machine in the woodland. On the ploughed as well, this thing sniffs out the tiniest stuff, even on the ploughed. My first hammered coin on this machine was a cut quarter, and it rang clean, made me want to dig it, and I was rewarded. Another good thing about this machine is the warranty. 5-year warranty. 5. They really do care about the end users. The old Deus, they honestly do. They have a good following. I am not a fanboy of any machines, but I have seen a lot of people using Deuses for a prolonged period of time and loving their machines. Now I'm kind of understanding why. This isn't a Deus 1, this is the Deus 2. But with the same aspect of that, I can understand why they kept to their same machines, because it's so customizable, because the end users are more respected with such a long sort of warranty and stuff. I really like that. It's waterproof for 20 meters deep. It does have a little clip on it because it's cableless, with a tiny little cable that runs up, which actually connects to the control box. That there is then 20 meters deep. And I have seen other YouTubers scuba diving with these machines with great success. So yeah, I have taken it out in the rains. Here in England, it's hoofing it down 90% of the time. I've had no problems with water ingress in the box. Absolutely blinding. It's little hammered hoover for my eyes. It really is. I've been on fields with other machines and hadn't even had a little sniff of hammered. I've been on fields with this and it has sniffed them out. I don't know why. It's probably down to the confidence, and that is the biggest point with this machine and me, is the confidence I actually have with the machine, that I won't be breaking it and that I won't be missing the small stuff. So yeah, that's where it actually lies to me, is the actual confidence you have in your machine. And with this, in all the results I had with all my hunts and all the time I had it, I feel confident taking this machine out in any environment. Every review wouldn't be a real honest review if I didn't hit you with the bad points. And there's a couple of bad points with this machine. There is a couple of bad points machine. No machine is perfect. That's all I can say out there. I do notice the depth on dry, unworked pasture wasn't as deep as I would expect. Especially with the updates. I think I've had about 2 or 3 updates with this control box since I've had it. It doesn't go as deep as other machines. Then of course my arm cuff, which a screw came out, one at the arm cuff, that obviously day one screw came out. I've had no issue with that screw missing either. Absolutely no issue. But the first day of using it, that screw decided didn't want to be there anymore. I don't know if the machine is self-lightening to make it even lighter, but yeah, that screw came out. Bit of a disappointment. Airy, deep gapped soils. I still don't know a machine that likes an airy, deep gap, you know, like really heavily ploughed, hasn't been sort of flattened, you know, really airy soils. You get a lot of variations in that sort of soil. Also, my arm cuff that popped off, it just popped off, but there you go, popped off. Did panic first of all. I thought, here we go, we're having another issue. But unlike other ones, you literally just clip it back in. You don't have to sit there for ages. But yeah, clips back in. Job's a good one. That's brilliant. The biggest downfall about this is the price. It's not a cheap machine. But the way I look at it, a 5-year warranty. If you buy a machine every 2 years, you stick to this one, you're probably about the same ballpark as any other sort of a heavy hitting machine. So yeah. Any other bad points I've got to name about this machine? I'm just looking now, just looking. Well, they could probably do something different with, I don't know, the control box charging, rather than it being the dated screw-in bit. Maybe even a clip for the control box as well. Or maybe even a universal clip that clips into both. I don't know. I'm probably just being a little bit picky now. But that little screw thing there can be a little bit fiddly, especially with my chipolata fingers. But other than that, any other bad points? Any other bad points? No, I think I've addressed them all. God, stop doing that, my arm hurts. Right, let's talk about the conclusion of the Deus 2 and would I recommend it? For a beginner detectorist, no. But for a beginner detectorist who enjoys a hobby, who has had experience with a cheaper machine, this is a machine to aim towards. As soon as you get your ear in and you find out exactly what you're listening for, and that's the biggest thing with detecting, is not the numbers, it's your ear. You need to listen for the signals. But for a beginner detectorist, I would not recommend this for a beginner detectorist. There are cheaper machines out there on the market, especially for beginners that don't think, well, you might love it or hate it. And it is a bit like Marmite metal detecting. You might pick it up, you don't find a hoard in the first 2 minutes, and that's it. You're like, it's boring. Other detectorists that go out there just love the hobby for what it is, even when you have days of digging nothing but iron or nothing but shotgun ends, because you're out in the countryside and enjoying yourself doing what you enjoy. Getting a bit off track there, so I apologise. But yeah, for a beginner detectorist, I would not recommend this amount of money on a machine to start with. And that's the God honest truth for that. I personally love this machine. This is my favourite go-to machine now. It was the Equinox 800, and don't get me wrong, I can see it looking at me at the corner of the screen here. The Equinox 800 is good. It is a bloody good machine. Shame about the build quality of it, but they've since rectified that. But yeah, Equinox 800 is a bloody good machine, and it's cheaper than the Deus 2. But if I had the choice between the two, I'd pick this machine up because of the confidence I have with it. I don't have to worry about certain things breaking out in the field because never let me down. No water ingress like other machines. As for fines rate, this thing has increased my fines rate. I mean, the proof is in my videos previous to this. Since I got the machine, you can check back. My fines rate has improved using this machine. I have found Roman. I found lots of Roman with this machine. I found Saxon. I found hammered. I found silver on the beach. I found jewelry on the beach. You know, it's down to the confidence you have with the machine. You've got confidence, you feel confident in pushing it a little bit further. You feel confident in tweaking them little settings, knowing you're not going to mess the machine up. With the lightness as well, you can go longer. You can dig longer. It's just an enjoyable machine, and I love it. A lot of people, chalk and cheese, but my own personal opinion of the machine, I love it. And the money I paid for it out of my own pocket, I believe, was well worth the end result. Anything else to say on that subject? No, that is my conclusion. I love this machine. Every machine has bad points. Every machine has good points. This one here will probably be my forever machine. You know, I'm that confident in it. Right. If you like this review, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see more reviews on machines, well, as I said, this is my forever machine. So unless something else amazing pops out there, which I don't see a lot of that on the market at the moment, I will be putting my hand in my pocket then to purchase again. But as I said before, I haven't got a single lack of confidence with this machine. Love it. Right. Hopefully be out in the field soon. I'm sure hopefully be healed up. But anyway, let's gas and Grimothy. Off a trot.